The winds. They blow. East, west, north, south. Continually. Like Paul, the Apostle John also makes an interesting statement, and one that can easily be passed over, unless you know exactly what he is talking about. If you do, it becomes a stark reminder of the pitched battle, in which the Lord demands that each and every one of his children, not only participate, but also come out triumphant. Therefore, I am going to show you what John says, and then I am going to explain what he knows that you need to know, provided you have any desire to overcome the wiles of Satan, here at the end of the age. This is what John says. Revelation chapter 7, verses 1 through 4, my standardized translation. After this, I saw 4 messengers standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding on to the 4 winds of the earth, so that wind could not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another messenger, one who was holding the seal of the living God, coming up from sunrise. And he shouted in a loud voice to the 4 messengers, to whom the right had been given to harm the earth and the sea, saying, Do not harm the earth, nor the sea, nor the trees, until we have set a seal on the slaves of our God, on their foreheads. And I heard the number of those who had been sealed. 144,000 were those who had been sealed, from every tribe of Israel's sons. Let me recap what John has written. He begins by telling us there are 4 messengers who control the 4 winds of the earth. That part of what he says seems to be fairly easy to understand, but then he switches over and begins talking about another messenger, one who has the authority to set some sort of seal on those who believe the truth of the gospel. John says this. Revelation chapter 7, verses 2 and 3, my standardized translation. And I saw another messenger, one who was holding the seal of the living God, coming up from sunrise. And he shouted in a loud voice to the 4 messengers, to whom the right had been given to harm the earth and the sea, saying, Do not harm the earth, nor the sea, nor the trees, until we have set a seal on the slaves of our God, on their foreheads. Let me recap what John has written. He is talking about 4 messengers, angels, who have control over the 4 winds that blow on the earth. Then he switches over and begins talking about a messenger, who is holding God's seal. That part of what John says is fairly easy to understand, but then he says this. Revelation chapter 7, verses 2b and 3, my standardized translation. And he shouted in a loud voice to the 4 messengers to whom the right had been given to harm the earth and the sea, saying, Do not harm the earth, nor the sea, nor the trees, until we have set a seal on the slaves of our God, on their foreheads. Now I ask you, what in the world does the blowing of the 4 winds have to do with the sealing of those who believe the truth of the gospel, here at the end of the age? Easy question to ask. Not so easy to answer. But I am going to show you, not only what you need to know about the winds that blow here on earth, but also what you need to know about the mindset of the most abject of all idiots. You know, the idiot that Paul was talking about when he wrote this. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verses 10 and 11, my standardized translation. So, to whomever you grant anything as a favor, I do also. For even what, if anything, I was granted as a favor, I was granted it, in the Anointed One's presence as a favor for you, so that we would not be taken advantage of by Satan, for we are not those who do not understand his thoughts. Now I ask you, how in the world is anyone supposed to understand what Paul and John are talking about, much less what they have said? Easy question to ask. Not so easy to answer. But I am going to show you what you need to know about the thoughts of Satan and the winds that blow here on earth. Maybe then, you will have a fighting chance to be one of those whom the Lord is going to seal with his personal imprimatur. Now that the seventh seal has been removed from the Hebrew scriptures,